What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, man. Today I'm super excited to talk about the Tascam FR-AV2 and why this is probably the best compact recorder that's out there in the market right now. And yes, it's because it got time code, but let's get into it. Before we even dive into it, there's a couple things I want to talk about before we even talk about recorders in general. And the first thing is that I know a lot of people that watch my content are wedding filmmakers. And right now, I'm telling you, do not buy this recorder or any other recorder if you're trying to plug into the DJ's booth. The accessibility of getting 32-bit float in products like the Tentacle Sync or the DAD PR2, you got so many different options where all you really need is 32-bit float and a 3.5mm to XLR cable. Now hear me out, I know I'm gonna lose y'all for a little bit, but a lot of these recorders are $300, $400, $500 when you can go out and buy a DAD PR2 for $229, plug that into the back of the DJ speaker, but it's a 2-for-1. So not only that, you can use it for a recorder, but then use it as a lapel when you need to mic up a talent. All right, enough about that. We're gonna talk about the Tascam FR-AV2 and why I'm super pumped up about it. Why when I saw it, I immediately gravitated to it. I borrowed Matt Johnson, shout out to Matt Johnson for letting me use his, and then immediately dropped my order for one because it's that good. Now, in terms of ports, you actually get 2 XLR combo ports. So it's also a 1/8 inch port, so you can actually plug directly into it or use your XLR cable. This is dope because it's also a stereo or mono recorder. So that means you can actually record independently from each channel. So each channel can do its own thing. You can have one channel with a mic, one channel accepting a feed from another source, and you can have it all going into one device. Now, why I'm super hyped up about it is because for the first time, we have a compact recorder that has, I'm gonna call it open source timecode. And what this means is basically a system that allows timecode from any device that supports timecode. And this is the first Tascam device with open source timecode. All the other devices from Tascam, including the DR10L Pro, all have a locked source timecode, meaning it only is compatible with one ecosystem, and you don't want timecode devices that do that. Now, if you're not into the whole timecode workflow and you're not using it or not utilizing it, this part of the video you're probably not gonna care too much about. But for all the people who are wondering, does this work with what I already have? This is the part for you. Now, this is an open source timecode generator and receiver, which means you can use any timecode generator, a Deity, a Tentacle, Atomos, no matter what it is, and you can actually plug directly into it. It actually has a timecode input as well as a line or timecode output. Now, the cool thing that I just found out about that timecode output is that you can actually simultaneously record 32-bit float into the device and output timecode at the same damn time. So I'm using the Deity TC1. All you gotta do to jam it is plug it into the EXT TCN port, give it a little bit, and boom, there it is. My timecode's running. Unplug it, it maintains it, hit record, good to go, just like that. Now, why is that impressive? That's impressive because no other device, one, allows you to do that that's this size. The next one that you would have to buy would be something like a Zoom F6. Now, if y'all been watching my content for a while, I don't just use a recorder to plug into the DJ booth and just use it as that. I've actually been using this to record shotgun mic audio directly for my cameras, any camera. This is a game changer, especially in the wedding world, because now I'm not fixed on one camera running my NTG3. Any camera, because we're all using timecode, now can take advantage of my microphone, my pro microphone, and it doesn't matter what angle it's coming from. A lot of cameras, like for example, my Nikon Z6 or my Nikon Z8, or a lot of you guys are shooting with Canon R5, R6s, these cameras don't actually natively support timecode. This means you actually have to record the sound into the camera and then do things inside DaVinci Resolve to actually use the timecode. That means I would have to have a recorder and another timecode generator for my camera. Now, I can use one device, record my audio from my NTG3, and output the timecode directly to my camera at the same time. This is huge. On top of that, the Tascam FR-AV2 supports 48-volt phantom power. So again, any microphone, any pro level microphone, we're talking the Rode NTG3, we're talking the Sennheiser MKH416, any of these pro level microphones you can use with this device. And on the plus side of that is that the preamps inside this Tascam will sound better than any camera you plug it into. Even the Red, even the Blackmagic Pocket 6K or the Ursa Mini Pro, any of the camera preamps, this thing will walk circles around it. On top of that is 32-bit flow. Filming weddings, I'm constantly running around. I'm trying to get sound bites. I got people yelling, I got people whispering, and I can't actively monitor the audio, continue to keep changing my gain because it's just too quick. Having 32-bit flow on your shotgun microphone, your pro shotgun microphone, is a game changer. Now, I know I keep saying 32-bit flow, 32-bit flow, and a lot of y'all don't really care about it, but I promise you, it's a saving grace in certain situations, like I said, where you can't actually adjust the volume and control the gain. Now, I went out and did some simple tests with it, and I was actually able to find that you can plug this in through the USB port, it's a USB-C port, and run power to it externally while recording. So that's huge because if you got to monitor your camera, your AA batteries get ready to die, you can literally plug it into your V-mount or plug it into a power source and keep the show going. In terms of usability, this is probably my favorite part. The Zoom F6 has so many options. It's honestly overbearing, but this is very simple. It's a very simple menu to navigate. It's very easy to understand. And I honestly feel like anybody that's new into Tascam like I am, took me seconds to actually understand and get to where I needed to be. The cool thing about the timecode portion is that it actually will automatically update all the parameters based on the timecode source that's being jammed into the Tascam. So what I mean by this is if your timecode generator, like your Deity TC1, is set to 30 frames per second, you don't have to set the frame rate on the Tascam. You literally just plug into the input. It'll actually read all the parameters coming in from the timecode generator and update it within the Tascam unit itself. Before now, you didn't really have an option to use something like a pro level recorder on your camera. And that's really the biggest point, and the reason that I'm even making this review is that now we have the option not only to do it with your cinema lineup of cameras, but anyone that's using a mirrorless camera like I do often with my Z8. Because I actually keep it on a quick release, I can actually detach it from my A-cam rig and zoom and boom, where we run around and we hold the mic and we get sound bites. But then I can also put it on other cameras like my Z8, my Z6, or any other camera in my lineup. Some other cool features about the FR-AV2, and this is why I'm super excited, y'all, because I truly feel like for the first time, Tascam listened and they delivered. They put every feature that they possibly could without getting sued into this device, and it shows. So you can actually monitor audio Bluetooth right from the device, which is huge because, again, a lot of these other products, you gotta plug in hardwire, you gotta plug in, you gotta listen. You can actually pair a set of Bluetooth headphones directly to the FR-AV2 and monitor the audio. Now, I personally haven't tested that, but it is a cool feature that I wanted to make sure y'all knew about. And there's also app support. So if you want to be able to adjust settings and change things on the fly, you can actually do that with the app. I'm gonna be honest though, I hate apps. And this isn't a Tascam thing, it's just, I don't like pulling out my phone and waiting for apps to load and being within range. I just don't like that. I like having the device, being able to have a screen, go to it, do my thing, and I'm done. This is one of the main reasons why I'm not a big Tentacle Sync fan. Now, if you've already invested in the Atomos ecosystem, good news is that this Tascam FR-AV2 is still compatible with that product. So if you have an UltraSync Blue, you literally will have to go out and buy the extra Bluetooth adapters. This is sold separately, which is annoying because it literally unlocks a lot of the features that you already would want, like Bluetooth monitoring, but you have to buy the external Bluetooth adapter. It is not the same Bluetooth adapter that you get with the DR10L Pro. This is an entirely different Bluetooth adapter. So if you have a DR10L Pro and you're trying to use that one, it's not gonna work with this. You have to buy a new one. Once you get that though, you can still use your Atomos UltraSync Blue and jam sync your time code through the Atomos ecosystem easily. Or, like I said, it's open source, baby, so you can plug in any timecode generator. So my first time using the FR-AV2, I don't know what on paper the actual battery life rating is. My biggest thing is I needed it to last a full wedding day. And so when we were out shooting at our bridal shower this past Sunday, at my first time using it, I actually got about 9 hours before the batteries died. These are rechargeable Panasonic AA batteries, so it could be the batteries themselves, but it was still long enough for me to know, okay, I can get a good bit of my wedding day covered and then swap out the batteries maybe towards the reception and I'm good to go. This was recording the entire time as well. Like I never stopped recording. I wanted to really know exactly how long it would last and if I would have any hiccups in the process. Another thing I want to mention is that when we were actually testing it, I had this plugged into the Rode NTG8 and it was literally sitting in the middle of the sun. Like the sunlight was shining directly on it and almost for probably about 3 or 4 hours, and it never stopped recording and it didn't overheat. It was running off the AA batteries, so I'm super excited to know that it didn't have any issues in the sunlight cooking because I don't have any issues like that with my Zoom F6. Now, a lot of y'all are probably thinking, well, if you got a Zoom F6, what'd you want this for? And the biggest reason is that it's a lot smaller and lighter. When I was trying to use my Zoom F6 on my rig with my shotgun mic, it honestly continued to offset the camera. It added a lot of weight to one side, and the actual recorder would end up hitting the arm, the friction arm that I had it attached with. That was the biggest caveat for me, and that's what made me start looking at all these other options like Tascam or any other solution that would allow me 48-volt phantom power and record with timecode. That's the biggest catch. Some of these devices will give you 48-volt phantom power, but won't have timecode, and it sucked. This now from Tascam covers all the bases, it checks all the boxes, and if you're looking for a way to actually use a pro-level microphone with your rig that doesn't actually have XLR inputs, this is the way to go. Not only is it a good recorder and it records in 32-bit float, provides phantom power, you got stereo independent XLR inputs, and you can actually output timecode to your camera at the same time, which is a game changer. If you're looking for a recorder and you're trying to just use this for the DJ's booth, don't buy an actual recorder. 32-bit float is really all you need, and it's available in so many other products that are cheap. The only thing you're gonna need from there is just a 3.5 to XLR cable. Now, if you're trying to take advantage of shotgun mic audio and you want to get something like a Rode NTG3 or a Sennheiser MKH416 or Audio-Technica, you're gonna need 48-volt phantom power. And whether or not you're using timecode right now or not, the fact that this supports it from any open source timecode device is a game changer. So getting this and being able to pair this with any camera in your ecosystem, jamming them all with timecode, running and gunning, getting the best possible audio recording and 32-bit float, I'm telling you, they nailed it. So that's my take. That's my little 2 cents on the Tascam FR-AV2. I know I sped through this, but if there's any questions, drop them in the comments down below. I'll be happy to answer them. Until the next video, y'all, keep creating, and I will see you in the next one.